Hi everyone, it's David Caviness, Certified Financial Planner here. I just finished giving a presentation to a room of sales executives. I wasn't able to record the presentation live, so I thought I would just jump on here and do my best to recap for you, because I think the things that we talked about when we talk about taking control of your financial life is so important to so many people that I wanted to provide that information to you as well. Whether I'm meeting with someone in my office for the first time or I'm in a group setting like this, one of the things that I always like to do is start out with the question, why? Why is money important to you? Because I think that helps you put together your goals, and your goals based on your values, your timeline, the things in life that you really want to accomplish. And taking control of your financial life means that we've got to have a plan. We've got to have a roadmap for where it is that we want to go. And the only way you can get somewhere is if you know where you are today. So we talk a little bit about taking stock of your assets. Maybe you've already been saving. Maybe you've got a 401k, or you've got some savings sitting in your checking account, or whatever it may be. But where are you at today? And then I ask another question, and this one got a few chuckles, but I said, I'm going to give every one of you in this room today $1 million. But when I give it to you, you got to tell me how you're going to divvy it up. How will you spend it? What will your plan be for that $1 million? Because the foundation for every successful plan is how we think about money, how we divvy it up, how we spend it, our budget in essence. And so our budget consists of three things. And we talk about our needs versus our wants. And that third component is our savings. And I talk a little bit about how so often when we receive our check every month, when we get our pay, we divvy it out, we go do the things that we have to do. We pay our mortgage, or we pay our rent, pay the utilities. Maybe we've got a car payment or other things out there, and we want to go out. We go out to dinner with our wives, our girlfriends, or spouses, and we go spend it. And then maybe if something's left over at the end of the month, we save it. And so often, no matter how hard we try to budget, and no matter what method we try to use when it comes to budgeting, the savings always gets left on the back burner. And so I looked at the room and I looked around and I said, look, I gave you guys all $1 million. Who wants to trade that $1 million for a penny today? I'm going to give anybody a penny that wants it. Now, here's the thing, that penny will double every day for the next 30 days. Had a few takers on that, and then I went through the process of what happens when that penny doubles every day for 30 days. And at the end of that month, that penny has now grown to about $5.4 million. And that's about the time I think everybody really starts paying attention, because it hits home the importance of saving. And so when we talk about budgeting, so often we get it wrong. The financial gurus on TV and in the media, they always talk about what you need to take care of first. But really what we need to do is pay ourselves first. So find a method when it comes to budgeting that works for you. But whatever it is, I always say be intentional about paying yourself first. Make sure that you're putting money away in savings through your employer and your 401k plan, and automate some savings even outside of that, so that you have money available should an emergency pop up, vehicle breakdown, or a home repair needs to be made. And you've got flexibility, so when things come up in the future, you want to take a trip, or maybe your goals have shifted a little bit, you've got access to those funds. And so where we land on, when I kind of go through the basics of creating a plan and talking through the budgeting process and the importance of savings and investing in yourself, I shared 3 real-life examples. First one, I talked about a couple that I had worked with. Came to me, they made a decent living, but they had worked up a fairly significant amount of credit card debt. And just the minimum payments each month was eating up almost half of their monthly income. And so we sat down, we really dug into their budget. We started itemizing where they were spending money. But first thing we did was look at those credit cards. And credit cards, it was about 23% interest. And we were able to put together a plan for them. They were able to go get a debt consolidation loan, lower their interest rate, actually lower the payments that they were making, and pay the credit cards off in just a few years. A lot quicker than they would have if they were trying to do it on their own with each credit card individually. Talked about another situation, another client that I've got that I worked with, that they are married, young kids, but they do extremely well. They've got a high income. They're doing the things that they need to do in terms of their retirement plan at work. But with the kids and private school and all of those expenses that come along, they felt like they could never get ahead, that they were never able to save money and build wealth outside of their retirement plan. So we sat down, we talked about a lot of the same things we talked about today. We lined out what their goals were. We reshifted their focus so that, yes, they're still taking advantage of their employer match at work, but they're still on track, but they're also shifting some of that spending. So now they've got savings outside of their retirement plan that's given them the flexibility to build their wealth and be able to use it for things like vacations, an emergency fund should those things come up so they don't have to utilize a credit card. And then we talked about one final case where a young couple had come to me, and like so many of us start out, we've got babies or very young children at home. And so the mom, the spouse she was at home taking care of the house and the kids, the husband was working, and he was doing well, but they really needed help to get started on building wealth. And so we walked through and they started, here's the deal. They started with $25 a month. That's what they could fit into their budget in terms of savings. And in a few months, that 25, they added, they increased it to 30. And before I knew it, within a year and a half, 2 years time, after bonuses, after raises had come, they had grown that where they started at $25 a month. They had increased their monthly savings to a little over $1,000. And they were well on their way to not only being able to retire into the future, but building wealth and building money in an account that they had the flexibility to access so that they could do things with their kids. They could go on a vacation every year. Sports, when they came around, they were able to make those payments that they needed, all the expenses that come along, and they were set financially for emergencies should something pop up. So if you're watching this and you can relate to the things that I've talked about, or maybe you know someone that you've had conversations with at work or a family member that is in this situation where they're trying to take control of their financial life, but they just can't seem to get things going in the right direction, please feel free, reach out, shoot me a message. My contact information will be here at the end of the video and in the comments below. Would love to reach out and have a conversation with you and see how we can help you take control of your financial life. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.